Vic Fernandez, and here we are once again. This is round 2. To put it into boxing terms, round 2 at Bushy Park. Round 1 was exciting. We have 9 cars in the Swift Cup, but this time around we have 12 cars. The numbers are growing, as is the excitement, as we prepare for another fabulous day at a breezy Bushy Park.
Ryan Perot from Trinidad and Tobago lies second in the championship, having won 1 of the 3 races at the opening round. Darrell Clark's best result so far is a 2nd place. Josh Reed, he is back. 4th place in the opening round, his best result. Woody, Ryan Wood, 4th place for him too, the best result so far. Kurt Thompson, a 6th place, but the lap record is his. There's brother Mark, the championship leader. New this time round, Freddie Gale taking over from his son Barry. Carl Waterman, who's standing in at this time for Snapper Husbands. David Somerville Jr., multiple champion from Jamaica in the Simpson Finance car. Jason Parkinson, formerly a race winner here at Old Bushy Park. And Mark Kinch, who's been dominating kart racing here in the last race meet. And finally, Sean Gill, back in action after quite a while out.
So, it's excitement you want, it's excitement you'll get. We'll be right back after this break.
Thousands of miles driving the Swift in circles and circles to really get a crispy handling and to really get best performance. What do the customers get out of it? Fun.
As you can see, I'm sitting. This is the calm before the storm, the calm before the excitement, before I rise out of my chair and begin to experience the Swift Cup round 2 here at Bushy Park. Here they come. This is race number 1.
So Ryan Perot claimed pole position in qualifying on Saturday. He will start on the front row of the grid alongside Ryan Wood. Row 2's Mark Thompson and Sean Gill. Row 3, Josh Reed, Darrell Clark. Row 4, Jason Parkinson and David Somerville. Row 5, Mark Kinch and Carl Waterman. And on the back row, Kurt Thompson and Freddie Gale. And as the lights turn off, the 4 red lights have gone out, and down into the first corner we go. We've glimpsed in car there of Josh Reed, and it's Ryan Wood who has made the best of the start off the front row of the grid, leading at the moment from Ryan Perot, with championship leader Mark Thompson there in 3rd place. Riding in car with the championship leader, and there we see Josh Reed. And it's very, very tight there indeed. Woody just managing to hold on as he's got side-by-side Perot and Thompson behind him. Josh Reed is the man in 4th place behind them. Freddie Gale at the tail end of the field in his first race at Bushy Park in many, many years. Used to be a regular racer here in the 90s. So we're in car again with Ryan Perot now. He's got to really concentrate on this. He's in that unenviable position of having to defend 2nd place while attempting to attack for 1st, and that is never a happy place to be. Woody leads, Ryan Perot is 2nd, down through the W's, and then uphill over Millbrow they go. The leading trio just beginning to edge away a little bit from 4th place man Josh Reed. We're in car with Jason Parkinson there, who is tussling with Carl Waterman, both of them newcomers to the Swift Cup this time round. We're on lap 3 out of 8, and the leading pair just edging away a little bit now. Mark Thompson, we ride here with him, dropping back a little bit now from that lead battle with Woody, now having been passed by Ryan Perot. So Perot has edged ahead now, and they're side by side. Those they go up to the courtesy dipper, out through MQI Bullet, and they're very, very close indeed. And there's a little bit of a touch there. Thompson and Woody make contact, and we see it from in-car in Thompson, and he T-bones Woody. Well, he didn't really have anywhere else to go. Woody manages to recover. Does Thompson recover? Yes, he does. There he is. But of course, they're now both some way down the field, and that all works to the good for Ryan Perot, because he will be out on his own now. And yes, there he is. Josh Reed is now second. Battle for third place now developing between the white and green Williams Industries car of Carl Waterman with Jason Parkinson. We ride in with him as he battles away with Waterman. Can't find a way past at the moment. Josh Reed now then on his way at the moment to second place. And there we see the second group being led by the Simpson Finance car of Jamaica's David Somerville Jr. Can't imagine the last time he would have raced a front-wheel drive car. Oh, a lock-up there for Kurt Thompson, getting very out of shape, coming into the courtesy dipper. In car once again with Ryan Perot, just after half distance now. All he's got to do really is concentrate on keeping it on the black stuff in the middle, and he's got this race pretty much sewn up. Second is Reed, because he's of course now being caught a little bit by Carl Waterman. The second group still close battling going on in there. That's the second of the two Digicel cars in the middle of that group. That's Darrell Clark. Josh Reed driving very tidily, I have to say. Doesn't look too much like a racing driver when you look at him in car like that. Anyway, he's holding on to his second place from Carl Waterman and Jason Parkinson. Quite a sizable gap back for the rest of the field. In car with Jason Parkinson now. The tail end of that group of four. And see the gap that Ryan Perot has eked out now in the lead after that tussle between the two behind him ended in contact. He walked the circuit a couple of laps before qualifying on Saturday to make sure that he could remember the corners that he got wrong last time round. And believe it or not, he sits at home and watches his in-car time and time and time again to make sure that he can learn more about how this circuit works. Well, one lap from home, and it looks as though he's going to become the second man to win two races, where Mark Thompson won two last time round. Perot won one, and it looks as though he's well on his way now to winning his second. And there's running wide there. That was Sean Gill, way wide on the exit of the W's there. Come back on towards the tail end of the field. We're on the last lap, and I don't think there's going to be a change at the front of the field here. Ryan Perot, another driver who doesn't look much like a racing driver, except now when he applauds himself. At least one hand on the wheel, Ryan, please. So then, victory for Ryan Perot. A good result for him, and that will help in his championship aspirations. As we see the results there, Josh Reed second, Carl Waterman third, Jason Parkinson is fourth, David Somerville fifth on his debut in the Swift Cup, good result for him. Sixth is Darrell Clark, and the rest of the field come home in the order: Kurt Thompson, Mark Kinch, Sean Gill, Ryan Wood, Freddie Gale, and Mark Thompson, who is subsequently disqualified from the results as a result of that tussle.
Well, these stewards, they would have seen the footage and they would have replayed it and see what really happened. My personal opinion is that I came out of the hairpin bend. I felt a nudge in my back left. It flicked my car a little sideways. A second little nudge again, a bit more sideways. I had the opposite in, it flicked back, and then I got T-boned, which is not his fault, really, because he had nowhere to go after that. I had nowhere to go. I was just a mere passenger. And the stewards will deal with it, and no hard feelings, but I've lost my first position, second position, and he's lost his position as well. So we start next race at the front of the grid, and we'll battle again.
Hopefully we'll have a better round next.
It's very competitive. There's no room for any mistakes. Entry and exit of corners is critical. And those who get it right are the ones that do well. But I enjoyed it.
The Suzuki Cup is phenomenal. We are enjoying ourselves again. It's getting a little more intense now. The guys are getting a little rougher on the edges, but you know what? This is what it's all racing is all about.
We go to commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Oh, I can't forget this evening and your face as you were leaving, but I guess that's just the way the story goes. You always smile, but in your eyes your sorrow shows. Yes, it shows. I can't live if living is without you. I can't live, I can't give anymore. I can't live if living is I can't give anymore. I can't live if living is without you. I can't give anymore.
Intense action. It continues to build. We're back, and so too is motor racing at Bushy Park.
All the cars in the Swift Cup, of course, prepared by one team of mechanics who have got quite a lot of work to do after the contact and one or two mechanical issues in that earlier race. Good to see the two guys who were involved in that incident talking to one another. That's nice and healthy, Woody and Mark Thompson. And it'll all get serious in a moment or two. However, reversed grid, of course, for the second race. Thompson and Perot right at the back. Josh, oh good Lord, already at the hammer on lap one. There was a little bit of contact there. I think Freddie Gale was involved there. Sean Gill and being tapped sideways there is David Somerville Jr. in the green and yellow Simpson Finance car. However, there are still 12 of them there. I just counted them very quickly. So no major issues thus far. Just a little bit of gentle love tapping here and there. And it is Ryan Wood who is out in front. Of course, he started on pole position with having finished 11th in the previous race, but last man qualified because, as we know, Mark Thompson was disqualified from the results of that earlier race, even though he did go on to finish it. In car was Ryan Perot, with rather a lot of cars in front of him, far more than there were in the earlier part of the final part, shall I say, of the earlier race. There is Woody, and it's Mark Kinch in the Team ICBL car tucked in behind him. Third is Sean Gill, having a much better race this time round. Fourth is Darrell Clark in the second of the two Digicel cars, and we're in car now with Mark Kinch. You get a glimpse of the door damage from the previous race on Woody's car. Kinch having a look at the inside as they go down into and out of the W's. Carry can enough momentum up the hill. Well, he can't, and not only that, Sean Gill is now getting alongside him, so while they're having a battle, that gives Woody just a little bit of a breather. He can concentrate on getting perfect lines. We're right in car with Mark Kinch as we see Sean Gill trying to drive all the way around the outside of him, and is he going to do so? Yes, I think he is. I think he's going to make that manoeuvre stick. Sean Gill, who hasn't raced here at Bushy Park for many years, hasn't raced indeed for many years, having been a rally driver in most recent times in the Swift and the Ignis and the SX4. So this is a fantastic experience for him, which I am sure he is thoroughly enjoying. They're all lining up behind him. Oh, I think I just saw a door mirror disappear there. I think Mark Thompson may well not have a door mirror on the left of his car anymore. So then, very, very close battling in the fifth race in the Swift Cup, 3 back at the end of March, and here we are in May with our second round. There is Woody. He is in the lead, and he has begun to stretch that advantage a little bit, and it's Sean Gill who is now chasing him with side-by-side for third place Mark Kinch in the ICBL car and Darrell Clark in the second of the Digicel cars. Half distance, and Woody still has the advantage. Who was that going across the infield there? Jason Parkinson it was. He's in quite a busy battle towards the tail end of the field as well. Here we go past the Automotive Art Pits complex, down into the W's, and Sean Gill now definitely gaining slowly but surely on Woody. Is there going to be a challenge for the lead? Are we going to see a Swift Cup debutant win on his first outing in the championship? Let us see, because Sean Gill is putting him under pressure, but he's got to defend, because right behind him is Mark Kinch. Behind him is Darrell Clark, then Mark Thompson, who gets well out of shape under braking for the hammer there. Gathers it all back together again though. We're in car now with Sean Gill, and it's Woody he's chasing, Mark Kinch he's defending from, Darrell Clark, Mark Thompson, Jason Parkinson there as well. Ryan Perot has been slowly but surely picking his way up through the field. He's up to 7th at the moment, and Mark Kinch gets alongside Sean Gill. We now ride with Sean Gill, and Mark Kinch cuts across the front of him. He's up into second place. Sean Gill, I think, has registered that particular corner, the courtesy dipper, is where quite a lot of contact, if it happens, and I think perhaps he just discretion being the better part of valour and all that sort of thing. Jason Parkinson bouncing over the curbs, exiting the Banks S's there onto the top straight, and Darrell Clark's going to get pushed wide. No, he doesn't. He manages to stay on the circuit. Back with Woody, and now Mark Kinch, having got back past Sean Gill, now putting Woody under pressure. Sean Gill under pressure from new fourth place man Mark Thompson. Down to fifth, up to fifth should I say, is Jason Parkinson, and down to sixth has gone Darrell Clark. So then on lap 6 out of 8 there is Woody. 333 the number under which he's always raced. He loves his circuit racing, and he's certainly putting the experience he's had here at Bushy Park in his Starlet in the past to very good use. Kinch racing a car for the first time, having been successful in the BKA's karting 125 class, the Easy Kart 125's last time out, coming out on top of that class just a couple of weeks ago, and obviously he is adapting to this car very quickly indeed. Just one lap to go after this one. Bit of bodywork flapping there on Ryan Perot's car, obviously a little bit of gentle contact somewhere. Woody glances in his mirror, and all his mirror is full of is the Swift Sport as of Mark Kinch. Now Ryan Perot coming up alongside Jason Parkinson. Is he going to be able to find a way? Oh, and Parkinson outbrakes himself. Doesn't really have anywhere to go. That catches Ryan Perot out, who has to ride wide as well. And Ryan's target of 5th place in this race, which he was about to achieve, is now not going to happen, because he's dropped back a couple of places behind David Somerville Jr. and behind Josh Reed. A busy penultimate lap for the and again under braking, Mark Thompson gets well out of shape. I wonder if he's just got a little bit of brake balance gone wrong there for him. Final lap then up over Millbrow goes the race leader. We're in car with Ryan Perot again, but I don't think he's going to make any more progress now, as through the courtesy dipper goes Woody, with Mark Kinch tucked right in behind him, and Ryan Perot very, very nearly makes contact with Josh Reed, but manages to drop the anchor just in time. Well, quite a big advantage now as Ryan Wood gets the checkered flag. Sort of a minor round of applause there. I think he clapped his hands once, and the grid girl congratulates him. And in the results, Ryan Wood ahead of Mark Thompson, Sean Gill, Darrell Clark, David Somerville Jr. and Josh Reed are the top 6. Ryan Perot, Mark Kinch down in 8th. He was given a 5-second penalty for a jump start. Carl Waterman, Kurt Thompson, Freddie Gale and Jason Parkinson didn't finish after that contact with Ryan Perot.
I think that was kind of like revenge for my first race, really. Nevertheless, it was a fantastic race. I led from get-go, really, past Freddie on the move-off. And from there, it was all history. I love track racing, and I had a great race just now. Fantastic. Last but by no means least, my sponsor, the Giselle, I'm so grateful. This one is for you, and hopefully I can bring plenty more for you throughout the season. Thanks again.
Second race, well, it has a lot of bumping and touching, but there's nothing to say that you have to worry about somebody taking you out. I'm going to be flat out for the next race, definitely.
Started at the back this time, so I had to try and work my way through the crowd, but it didn't go according to plan at first. Had a little off-road excursion, which I had to cut into rally mode quickly to get that back on the track. And looking forward to the next race.
Well, the first race was a learning experience for sure. I improved in the second one. I made a couple of mistakes because I haven't driven a manual for 15 years. So I missed third gear a couple of times and went to 5th. And that cost me a couple of positions just now, but it was a lot of fun. The cars are a pleasure to drive.
Ryan and myself went down into the hairpin, kind of neck and neck. And we both struggled to stop. I drifted wide, and when I caught myself on the outside the corner, someone else came through on the inside and just took out my left front strut, I guess. Up to now, I'm still not sure. We're fighting over a 10th of a second, a 100th of a second. We'll be coming from the back with vengeance.
We'll be right back after this break.
I feel the sun on my face.
fun never ends in the family room. The new Suzuki Ertiga. It's much more than a car.
Suzuki, way of life.
The grid for the last race based on the points scored earlier in the day by everybody, and that puts Ryan Perot on pole position, which is where he would wish to be. And sitting alongside him, Woody. They've been the two most successful drivers of the day so far. How is their day going to end? Well, they're side by side into the hammer on the first lap. Woody on the outside, Ryan Perot on the inside, just edges ahead. Not quite so much ground to cover, of course, being on the tighter inside line at that corner. So it is Perot who is ahead. We're in car briefly with Woody and now with Ryan Perot. Glances in his mirrors and says, well, the first half of the first lap's gone the way I would want it to do. Josh Reed there in the Team Massey Insurance car in third place. Fourth behind him, David Somerville Jr. Fifth is Darrell Clark. Sixth is Mark Thompson. Seventh is Kyle Waterman. Eighth is Sean Gill. Ninth is Mark Kinch, and we're behind him briefly there in car with Kurt Thompson. And the tail end of the field is Freddie Gale and Jason Parkinson, of course, having started right at the back. So Ryan Perot, he drives like a policeman. He feeds the steering wheel through his hands. It really is quite bizarre. He looks so relaxed. Well, he's got a good reason to be, because here we are on lap 2. He's pulling out an advantage. Here, I am Ryan Wood. I am chasing you, but I'm not catching you at the moment because I'm watching my mirrors real careful, because I've got Josh Reed behind me, David Somerville Jr. behind him. 20 or so titles in various disciplines David Somerville Jr. has won over the years. The most decorated competitor pretty much in all disciplines in the region. Rally, race, dexterity, the lot. And now enjoying his first outing in the Swift Cup as part of the Suzuki Challenge Series. In car with Kurt Thompson. Tap of the brakes from Mark Kinch in front of him. See the brake light at the top of the rear door there. Of course, all of these Swifts have got fiberglass panels replacing the lights. Otherwise, there'd be lots of little bits of glass all over the place at the end of each race. In car with Kurt Thompson again, still at the tail end of that group. So evenly matched, it really is difficult to make progress. You have to use all of your skill as a driver to overcome the fact that these cars are as equal as it is humanly possible to make them. There is Woody in second place, and see the gap Ryan Perot is creating is getting bigger and bigger as Woody concentrates on holding on to that second place from the determined Josh Reed. Looking further back down, the second of the Digicel cars now under pressure, being driven by Darrell Clark, under pressure from Carl Waterman standing in, and we've got also, and a little wave there from Mark Kinch saying, hang on a minute, there's a bit of gentle love tapping there. He's got time to wait, he's got time to concentrate on going quicker, I'd say. Anyway, it goes to show the friendly nature of this championship, because although there has been some seriously hard battling on the track, as you can see from the smiles on their faces, all of these guys get on well and are enjoying this new challenge. Except possibly Woody, who's watching the black tailgate of the race leader Ryan Perot's car get smaller and smaller. Now then, are we going to see a challenge? We just ride in car with Ryan Perot to see how relaxed he is and how hassled everyone else is, because Woody is doing his very best to hold on to his second place. We're back with Waving Man. Now then, Kurt Thompson, we ride in car behind Mark Kinch once again. There's the race leader Ryan Perot, the race number 868, a reflection of the area code of Trinidad and Tobago, whence he comes. In the midfield, there's still a lot of battling going on. Carl Waterman now under pressure, side by side with Mark Thompson as they come out onto the clubhouse straight. Lap 6 out of 8. Perot leads. Woody is second. Third is Josh Reed. Fourth is David Somerville. And there's quite a gap back before we see the next group now. Now is Josh Reed finally. He's only got a couple of laps in which to do this now. He's been watching exactly the lines that Woody takes each time round. Is there going to be an opportunity for him to challenge? We're in car with Woody trying to make his Suzuki Swift Sport as wide as a much larger Suzuki, like perhaps a Grand Vitara, to try and make sure that he can keep Josh Reed behind. Josh is still right there, but he's got that problem too. If he tries a challenge and it doesn't work, then David Somerville Jr. has got all of the experience just to dive into a gap he might have accidentally left. This is lap 7 out of the 8, up into the courtesy Dipper. They go back in car with Ryan Wood, using all of the track to ensure that Josh Reed stays behind him, which he does at the moment. There's David Somerville down into the W's for the final time they go. And I don't think those positions are going to change. I really thought there was a chance there for Josh Reed, but Woody has put all of the experience gained in that earlier race victory. Is side by side for 5th place are the second Digicel car of Darrell Clark and Carl Waterman in the Williams Industries car, driven last time out by Snapper Husbands. And here we are in car with Ryan Perot. He's punching the air already. He knows he's won. He's clapping. He's bouncing up and down. There is a happy little man from Trinidad and Tobago. Second race win of the day, and almost certainly that's going to give him the championship lead.
Is the new leader of the Swift Cup from Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Ryan Perot.
So confirmation of the results there. Ryan Perot wins by a second and a half or so from Ryan Wood, who held off Josh Reed and David Somerville Jr. Darrell Clark did eventually find his way past Carl Waterman for 5th place. Sean Gill finishing 7th, Mark Kinch 8th, and then Kurt Thompson, Jason Parkinson, Freddie Gale and Mark Thompson complete the field.
The Swifts are excellent. My mom actually has one, so I drive it on a daily basis. Love them, but the racing was exciting racing. Everybody is the car is obviously even, so everybody is there jostling for position.
Today was tough, but it was a lot of excitement. I'm glad he put on a good show for the sponsors.
Oh, it was so exciting. You could see the crowds, everybody was excited, especially on the corners when Darrell was racing with the Williams car. Oh, that was fantastic. But I love seeing them, and it's great opportunity for Digicel, great branding experience.
I think between me and Woody, we did a really good job today.
It's amazing, man. I couldn't thank you all enough. It really is a great series. I can't thank ICBL enough for giving me this opportunity. You know, Agapol was supposed to be taking over. That was my uncle, so I thank him as well. He put in a good word for me and gave me this opportunity. I can't thank you all enough.
It's such a pleasure to be racing for Simpson Finance and Stewart's Automotive in Jamaica. I'm glad they made the move to get me here. That was an awesome first race.
The series is a fantastic series. Everyone is even. It's just to keep your head level and not overdrive the car or not try to bore and push anyone about the track.
You come, get in the car, drive, get out, get your drinks. I mean, it's never been easier, and everything's left to the drivers.
If it wasn't for the close racing, we won't have these little rubs and bumps. But all in all, the racing has been fantastic. The Suzukis have been working phenomenal again today.
You have to do your homework. You have to really think about what's happening and try and make it perfect around the track, lap after lap.
It's fantastic. These Swifts are, go to get one. They're fantastic.
And so the championship positions after round 2. The lead changes hands. Ryan Perot now with 107 points from early leader Mark Thompson, now with 83. And Woody jumping up into 3rd place with 74. So then the prize giving at the end of the day. Josh Reed collecting his trophy as 3rd in the group. On the race results, there's Ryan Wood accepting his trophy, and there is Ryan Perot, a quick peck from Ina Nokai, and he is the winner of the day.
Well, here we are once again, coming to the end of another fabulous day of motor racing at Bushy Park in the Suzuki Swift Challenge Series, round number 2. Things may have been brown on the outside, environmentally speaking, but on the track, it was all green, it was all go, as excitement and thrills and a little bit of heart-stomping and foot-stomping stuff went on here at Bushy Park. We'll be back. There's going to be a round 3. We had 9 cars the first day out. Now we had 12 this time. There is more to come. More excitement from Bushy Park.